Courage and Her Children. German. Mutter Courage und ihr Kinder is a play written in 1939 by the German dramatist and poet Bertolt Brecht (1898–1956) with significant contributions from Margarete Steffin. 4 theatrical productions were produced in Switzerland and Germany from 1941 to 1952, the last 3 supervised and/or directed by Brecht, who had returned to East Germany from the United States. Eugen Berthold Friedrich Brecht, 10 February 1898 to the 14th of August 1956, known professionally as Bertolt Brecht, was a German theater practitioner, playwright, and poet. Coming of age during the Weimar Republic, he had his first successes as a playwright in Munich and moved to Berlin in 1924, where he wrote the Threepenny Opera with Kurt Weill and began a lifelong collaboration with the composer Hans Eisler. Immersed in Marxist thought during this period, he wrote didactic Lehrstück and became a leading theoretician of epic theater, which he later preferred to call dialectical theater, and the Verfremdungseffekt. Several years after Brecht's death in 1956, the play was adapted as a German film, Mutter Courage und ihr Kinder, 1961, starring Helene Weigel, Brecht's widow and a leading actress. Mother Courage is considered by some to be the greatest play of the 20th century, and perhaps also the greatest anti-war play of all time. Critic Brett D. Johnson points out, although numerous theatrical artists and scholars may share artistic director Oscar Eustis's opinion that Brecht's masterpiece is the greatest play of the 20th century, productions of Mother Courage remain a rarity in contemporary American theater. Summary. The play is set in the 17th century in Europe during the 30 Years' War. The recruiting officer and sergeant are introduced, both complaining about the difficulty of recruiting soldiers to the war. Anna Feierling, Mother Courage, enters pulling a cart containing provisions for sale to soldiers, and introduces her children Elif, Katrin, and Schweizerkäse, Swiss cheese. The sergeant negotiates a deal with Mother Courage while Elif is conscripted by the recruiting officer. 2 years thereafter, Mother Courage argues with a Protestant general's cook over a capon, and Elif is congratulated by the general for killing peasants and slaughtering their cattle. Elif and his mother sing, "The Fishwife and the Soldier." Mother Courage scolds her son for endangering himself. 3 years later, Swiss cheese works as an army paymaster. The camp prostitute, Yvette Potier, sings the fraternization song. Mother Courage uses this song to warn Katrin against involving herself with soldiers. Before the Catholic troops arrive, the cook and chaplain bring a message from Elif. Swiss cheese hides the regiment's paybox from invading soldiers, and Mother Courage and companions change their insignia from Protestant to Catholic. Swiss cheese is captured and tortured by the Catholics, having hidden the paybox by the river. Mother Courage attempts bribery to free him, planning to pawn the wagon first and redeem it with the regiment money. When Swiss cheese claims that he has thrown the box in the river, Mother Courage backtracks on the price, and Swiss cheese is killed. Fearing to be shot as an accomplice, Mother Courage does not acknowledge his body, and it is discarded. Later, Mother Courage waits outside the general's tent to register a complaint and sings the Song of Great Capitulation to a young soldier anxious to complain of inadequate pay. The song persuades both to withdraw their complaints. When Catholic General Tilly's funeral approaches, the chaplain tells Mother Courage that the war will still continue, and she is persuaded to pile up stocks. The chaplain then suggests to Mother Courage that she marry him, but she rejects his proposal. Mother Courage curses the war because she finds Katrin disfigured after being raped by a drunken soldier. Thereafter Mother Courage is again following the Protestant army. While 2 peasants are trying to sell merchandise to her, they hear news of peace with the death of the Swedish king. The cook appears and causes an argument between Mother Courage and the chaplain. Mother Courage is off to the market while Elif enters, dragged in by soldiers. Elif is executed for killing a peasant while stealing livestock, trying to repeat the same act for which he was praised as hero in wartime, but Mother Courage never hears thereof. When she finds out the war continues, the cook and Mother Courage move on with the wagon. In the 17th year of the war, there is no food and no supplies. The cook inherits an inn in Utrecht and suggests to Mother Courage that she operate it with him, but he refuses to harbor Katrin because he fears that her disfigurement will repel potential customers. Thereafter Mother Courage and Katrin pull the wagon by themselves. When Mother Courage is trading in the Protestant city of Halle, Katrin is left with a peasant family in the countryside overnight. As Catholic soldiers force the peasants to guide the army to the city for a sneak attack, Katrin fetches a drum from the cart and beats it, waking the townspeople, but is herself shot. Early in the morning, Mother Courage sings a lullaby to her daughter's corpse, has the peasants bury it, and hitches herself to the cart. Mother Courage is one of 9 plays that Brecht wrote in resistance to the rise of fascism and Nazism. In response to the invasion of Poland by the German armies of Adolf Hitler in 1939, Brecht wrote Mother Courage in what writers call a white heat, in a little over a month. For, as the preface to the Ralph Mannheim John Willett collected plays puts it, Mother Courage, with its theme of the devastating effects of a European war and the blindness of anyone hoping to profit by it, is said to have been written in a month. Judging by the almost complete absence of drafts or any other evidence of preliminary studies, it must have been an exceptionally direct piece of inspiration. Following Brecht's own principles for political drama, the play is not set in modern times but during the 30 Years' War of 1618–1648, which involved all the European states. It follows the fortunes of Anna Feierling, nicknamed Mother Courage, a wily canteen woman with the Swedish army, who is determined to make her living from the war. Over the course of the play, she loses all 3 of her children, Schweizerkas, Alef, and Katrin, to the very war from which she tried to profit. The name of the central character, Mother Courage, is drawn from the picaresque writings of the 17th-century German writer Grimmelshausen. His central character in the early short novel, the renegade Courage, 6 also struggles and connives her way through the 30 Years' War in Germany and Poland. Otherwise the story is mostly Brecht's, in collaboration with Steffin. The action of the play takes place over the course of 12 years, 1624 to 1636, represented in 12 scenes. Some give a sense of Courage's career, but do not provide time for viewers to develop sentimental feelings and empathize with any of the characters. Meanwhile, Mother Courage is not depicted as a noble character. The Brechtian epic theater distinguished itself from the ancient Greek tragedies, in which the heroes are far above the average. Neither does Brecht's ending of his play inspire any desire to imitate the main character, Mother Courage. Mother Courage is among Brecht's most famous plays. Some directors consider it to be the greatest play of the 20th century. 7th Brecht expresses the dreadfulness of war and the idea that virtues are not rewarded in corrupt times. He used an epic structure to force the audience to focus on the issues rather than getting involved with the characters and their emotions. Epic plays are a distinct genre typical of Brecht. Some critics believe that he created the form as epic theater. Mother Courage is an example of Brecht's concepts of epic theater and Verfremdungseffekt, or V effect. Preferably, alienation, or estrangement effect. Verfremdungseffekt is achieved through the use of placards which reveal the events of each scene, juxtaposition, actors changing characters and costume on stage, the use of narration, simple props and scenery. For instance, a single tree would be used to convey a whole forest, and the stage is usually flooded with bright white light, whether it's a winter's night or a summer's day. Several songs, interspersed throughout the play, are used to underscore the themes of the play. They also require the audience to think about what the playwright is saying. Mother Courage, also known as Canteen Anna, Katrin Catherine,